Last time on Legend of the Nerds, James and Andy attempted to locate the top 5 villains in the universe, only to be thwarted by the cruel machinations of time itself. This week, they delve into the world of everything Dragon Ball on Legend of the Nerds.
Hello and welcome back as we revisit a universe of epic proportions. I'm your host, James. Alongside me always is...
I'm Andy.
And we ask you all to join us on this journey as we all become Legend of the Nerds. Andy, what universe are we talking about today?
Talking about the Dragon Ball universe. This is part 2 of our Dragon Ball universe.
You know, the show keeps growing and our topics keep growing, and we have to do 2-part episodes now, don't we?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's 1986 this show started, originally with the original Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z like we talked about last time. So, I mean, that's 20, 30 plus years worth of talking, so we had to split it up in 2 episodes.
There's no other choice, right? So, yeah, I said 1986-ish, I think it was.
1986 is when it first came out in Japan.
Right. So the show basic is Goku lives in the woods by himself.
Mm-hmm.
He's a young boy at this point in time. Pretty much a young girl, Bulma, blue hair, shows up because she's on a mission to find 7 magical Dragon Balls.
Exactly.
And she wants to find them so she can make a wish. Do you remember what wish she wanted?
I think she wants to harness the power or something from the Dragon Balls.
She wants a boyfriend.
Oh, okay, yes. That's right.
That's all she wants.
That's all she really wants. I guess
That's all she really wants.
It was that hard for her to actually find one. She just has to wish for one.
That's right.
Or why not have her father make her one?
Yeah, right? He's a genius.
I know.
Dr. Bruce is a genius. Dragon Ball isn't as huge as Dragon Ball Z was. Not that many seasons. Dragon Ball Z was 9 seasons.
Somewhere around there.
And Dragon Ball is 5 seasons of awesomeness, I must say.
You get more of, in Dragon Ball Z, I noticed, you get more of the hard-hitting action.
You do.
Whereas in Dragon Ball, you get a lot of the journey and storyline.
The journey and storyline in Dragon Ball Z definitely still get that, but it's more of growing stronger as an individual and as a fighter. And Dragon Ball is more of an adventure show.
Well, it's like you mentioned, Goku's still a kid, so he doesn't know who he exactly is.
Right.
So
throughout the entire series, we see Goku as a child growing up into his teens, which is a fantastic journey. We start off with, I'd call it the Emperor Pilaf saga, I would say.
Yep, his very first villain.
Pilaf really wasn't much of a villain, though, was he?
Nobody thought he was. There were still some people that feared him.
Yep.
But no, he was probably one of the weakest villains. I'd say he...
But he's still around today, though.
He is. He's a little old man walking around now. Yeah, he just wanted to rule the world, basically. So he's your basic villain. Unlike the others who you see later on, who just want to kill everybody.
Yes.
Pilaf just wanted people to fear him.
Yes. And he has his 2 sidekicks, I forgot her name, and the dog.
Exactly. That tells you how bad of a villain he is when you can't even remember the sidekicks' names.
And you should remember them, but they're not. It's in my head right now. I do know them. But throughout this one saga, it's Goku, Bulma. They eventually meet up with Oolong, the talking shape-shifting pig.
Yep.
And the desert bandit, Yamcha.
Exactly.
Which is actually a really cool character in this series, but later on becomes a giant joke in the Z series.
This is true. Yamcha is one of those cocky guys, thinks he's Joe Schmo, but really...
Yeah. Well, I mean, he really was. I mean, he was feared in this show, you know?
Well, yeah, he's feared in the desert. Who lives out in the desert?
But him and his little sidekick, Quar.
Quar, yeah. Another shapeshifter.
Another shapeshifter. That's right. Then from there, they all team up to go after the Dragon Balls because Yamcha wants to make a wish, too.
Yes, he wants a girlfriend.
He wants a girlfriend.
And not to be afraid of girls, too.
Not to be afraid of girls.
Yep.
Which is a very funny thing because they could just talk to each other and they could save a wish.
I will say the Pilaf saga, though, it didn't last long. It was probably about not even 10 episodes.
I think it was an entire season almost, wasn't it?
Well, you get in season 1, where we'll get on later, is he meets Goku meets Roshi, and he trains, and they
Turtle Hermit at this point.
and they have the first world tournament.
Yeah.
So because it ends with him, you learning about the Red Ribbon Army.
The end of season 1, right?
Yes, the end of season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only
So much in there, but the episodes there's a lot of episodes.
exactly, but they eventually get all the Dragon Balls together at the end of the Peel-Off thing, Peel-Off
Yep.
saga. That's where you learn more about Goku and his monkey tail,
Special ability.
his special ability, which is the full moon.
Yes,
He transforms into
a giant ape.
giant ape.
Giant ape.
What's better than transforming into a giant ape?
Not transforming into a giant ape, I would
Exactly.
suspect.
But like I said, they get the balls together. Peel-Off's going to make his wish.
Who saves the day?
Who other than Oolong saves the day?
Now, Oolong, we gotta talk about this character because he was a feared villain for like half an episode.
Well, yeah, because he was feared in that one little
Because he
little
would
town.
steal all the girls.
Yep.
Because he wants to marry them all. That's what he's looking for.
But it's funny when they get back to his mansion, they're kind of bossing him around.
Exactly, yep.
I know any of the female fans out there will probably slap me if I see him on the city, but typical female. They boss us around.
I have no idea what you're talking about. But Oolong eventually learned that he is just a coward.
Yep.
That's all he is. But he, Pilaf gets the balls together. Shenron comes out, and Oolong makes a wish to save the entire day.
Exactly. And what a wish it was. Why don't you explain what that wish
The
was?
wish that he made was he wanted the world's most comfortable pair of underpants.
Which have, I think, a little rose on them and everything.
Had a little pink rose on
Yeah.
the waist, that's right.
He never
yep.
even wears them like wearing them like actual underpants.
Do you remember how he wear them?
He just puts them on his head.
Puts them right on his head.
It's a nice little hat. Keeps his ears warm probably during the winter days.
That's right. Well, I don't have covers here. It goes right through the ears.
This is true.
But, yeah. So Pilaf gets just defeated, I suppose.
Yep.
They all go their separate ways. Then, yeah, all go their separate ways because Goku is back on the hunt for the 4-star Dragon Ball, which is his grandfather's Dragon Ball.
Exactly. But I think he goes and hunts, though, for that after the tournament. Because remember, they transform into rocks for a year.
Right, yeah, for a year, yeah.
Because he wants to go meet in another episode before Peel-Off was the Ox King episode. That's where you meet Roshi.
Yep.
And he wants to train with the guy who trained his grandfather.
Yeah.
So he goes out, sets out to go find Master Roshi.
At this point, it's not Master Roshi. At this point, we only know him as the Turtle
The
Hermit.
Turtle Hermit. This is true. But he goes out, sets out to go find him to be trained by him. Which
Which is the training, it's in itself, was actually a wicked cool bunch of episodes.
exactly. They go to they don't even stay on the Kame House island. They go off.
The island.
They
At
go
this
off to
point,
another place.
Krillin shows up.
I know, which must mean a lot to you, being your favorite
Absolutely, yeah.
Dragon Ball
And do you remember
character.
how he got to the island?
He swam there.
He swam there the entire way.
Yeah. He. Do you remember though? I used to tell you though, I lost a lot of respect for Krillin as a kid because he was a little.
Krillin was a punk.
He was. I was gonna say a prick.
He's a little punk in the,
He,
in the shows.
All the things he does to Goku, where he tries to cheat to get ahead. And
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
like,
let's discuss the training. The training was actually really intense and wicked smart, actually, when you think about it.
Exactly.
Because they delivered milk to the island,
yep. Which is up some mountains,
over the river.
over the river and through the woods.
That's
To
right.
grandmother's house we go. Yeah, but it built up their character, it built up their speed, and they don't realize that all this training, as Roshi puts it, is actually doing them a favor.
It was almost like the Karate Kid training, you know?
Yeah, the little wax on, wax off kind of thing.
All these little chores they did throughout the island
Yep.
was all to help them, even in pushing the boulder, you know?
Yeah, or swimming. They thought in one episode they were going to get a break. He lets them go swim in the lake, but there's a giant shark out there chasing them,
That's right.
and it builds up speed.
So we get the training over, and eventually they go to the 21st
21st.
World Martial Arts Tournament. And this is actually a wicked cool tournament. We'll talk more about these tournaments later on through our top 5.
Yep.
We'll talk about more of this. Just quickly run through the tournament. There's 3 tournaments in the show, right? 3 of them?
3, yes.
Yeah. So we're going to skip the tournament for right now. We'll talk about that tournament later on in the show.
Yep.
All right. Then, tournament's over. Then we eventually meet the Red Ribbon Army.
Yeah, which is, to me, Goku's first real villains. Because Pilaf is a joke, really. The Red Ribbon Army is basically the rest of the Dragon Ball series is based off the Red Ribbon Army.
And some of Dragon Ball Z.
Exactly. They come back
the
with
Android
the
Saga.
androids. Yep.
The Red Ribbon Army has a couple different generals in it that run the different areas. There are General Blues in there.
Yeah, General Tao.
General Tao,
He's in there.
the assassin, who is hired by General Blue.
Which, I mean, we need to mention, too, I mean, the Red Ribbon Army's basically got the same idea as Pilaf. They all want to rule the world. And
With the Dragon Balls.
With the Dragon Balls.
Yep.
Which you would think something so mystical, not many people would know about, but obviously everybody knows about it.
Let's skip two most important part of the Red Ribbon Army, though. There's two parts of the most important ones. One was the tower.
Yep.
This tower is important because you actually meet your first android. It's Android 9. Remember Android 9?
I probably, if I saw it, would.
He looked a lot like Frankenstein's monster.
Okay, yes. Yes.
So that's Android 9. Goku had to fight him. Turned out Android 9 wasn't really much of a fighter, was he?
Well, it's one of those first prototype androids,
Yeah.
that's why.
It was like him and Android 16 were kind of the same model almost.
Yep.
They both had a set goal, but they were both soft. They were both soft. So what was your favorite part about the tower itself?
I like the whole point where he basically, on each level of the tower, has a different opponent.
Yes.
And he's kind of, it's like a video game, basically.
But you remember the mission of the tower, right?
Dragon Ball series is hard for
The
me to
mission of the
remember.
tower was to save the mayor of the city.
Okay, it was Snow, I think.
It was snow, yep.
Yes.
It was a snow, yep. But his point was to save the mayor of the city.
But to me, what I can remember from watching it, it kind of reminded me of a video game. Like you
Of
go
course.
into a tower. The only way to advance is you got to beat that first opponent, and it gets
keep
tougher and
climbing
tougher
up.
and tougher on each level.
Yep. And you actually see Goku's first loss in the tower
Yep.
against General Tao. He meets up with him several times throughout the entire series.
Yeah, and give General Tao his props because you see him multiple times, obviously, and then when Goku eventually does beat him, he'll later come back when we get later into the show.
Yep. So we got the tower. Goku gets through the tower. He's moving on. He's advanced forwarding towards the main target, which is just to bring down the Red Ribbon Army and to get his grandfather's Dragon Ball. So, I mean, it was a very unique couple of seasons for Red Ribbon Army and how they set it up. I thought it was really interesting. I enjoyed it. I would keep watching it. I guess you guys keep watching it. But now, one of the main characters of Dragon Ball gets introduced. And I'm glad they introduced him because total 90-degree turn with this character. I'm talking about Tien and Chaozu.
Yes.
Because you watch them in Dragon Ball Z, and what do you see?
In Dragon Ball Z, you don't see them do anything.
You just see, I mean, these guys are total faithful to Goku. Total just respect for him and all the rest of the Z fighters. But in Dragon Ball, Tien is kind of a prick, isn't he?
Well, you got to remember who he admired, which was Tao.
Yeah.
Tao
He was a con artist. I mean, he was Tao and his brothers want to train him.
Yeah. And to me, Chaozu back then he's like Tien, but he's not as powerful, obviously. But he's one of those where he constantly is insulting you.
Tien is not Tien, but Chaozu has got a good backstory. Because he is Emperor Chaozu.
Okay.
And it is in a movie. And I remember what movie it was. But it was definitely worth a movie to watch because it had a great story of Chaozu and his past and how he teamed up with Tien eventually.
Yeah. But like you said, they actually debut in the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament.
Yep, which is actually right now.
Yeah, which we'll get to when we get to the tournament parts. Great tournament though. But after that is Goku's in Dragon Ball, his toughest enemy ever.
Yep. Talking about King Piccolo here, right?
Yep, which is King Piccolo, the evil Namekian. Roshi actually explains the backstory of King Piccolo, how Roshi's master when he was young, trapped him in
So
the.
you saw that fight between King Piccolo and Master Roshi, and it was so great. I remember this fight.
Yeah, I mean, Master Roshi's going back in time. His master traps him in the Denshi jar, I think is what it's called.
Really, it was just a crock pot.
Yeah, but
It
unfortunately,
was just a glass crock pot.
to use that, you sacrifice your life.
Yes.
And that's how his master died. But somehow he breaks out. Roshi has to try to go back and defeat him, but unfortunately doesn't and loses his life.
But he did the spell. It was going well. The crock pot's open, and he misses the target.
Exactly.
You remember that? He misses the target.
I think even in the, unfortunately I'm going off topic, the Dragon Ball movie, the Dragon Ball Evolution, I think he misses his target in that too.
He might have. He
I'm
might have.
like,
Yeah.
Well, at least that was a good part in the movie that kept it the same as in the
A little
anime.
bit. Yeah.
But he misses his target, loses his life. Goku almost loses his life fighting him the first time.
Yeah.
That's why I said King Piccolo to me is that he's that villain where we're seeing Goku kind of
Progress
yeah.
in age
Well,
and size.
well, I mean, is he kind of fights his enemies and he's just backhanding them kind of thing. You're not tough. This is his very first tough opponent that rivals obviously his master in Roshi.
Yeah.
With the
Absolutely.
the energy waves, the energy blasts, everything.
Yeah.
It was even, unfortunately, King Piccolo's subjects who killed your favorite character, Krillin, too.
Yep.
So they're going off literally killing all these Z fighters before we call them Z fighters.
Yeah.
Do you remember, though, the newest character who gets debuted in the King Piccolo saga?
Newest character.
Yes, he's a new. When the King Piccolo saga debuted, they debut a new character. Do you know who that is?
What do you explain?
Yajirobe,
Oh, that's like he matters.
our favorite fat little ninja with the most powerful sword.
Yajirobe. Yeah, that's
Because
right.
because what happens is Goku is looking for the Dragon Balls,
Of course.
and Yajirobe owns one of those,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Yajirobe won't give it to Goku. I think he makes Goku carry him up to Korin's Tower.
Yeah.
And he ends up eating all the sensu beans, so Goku can't get one to help him revive himself after his first fight with King Piccolo. I'm like, what a fat SOB. But
then the final season 5 is a great tournament too.
Mm-hmm.
We'll touch up on this one a little bit because it's just fun. It's Chi-Chi's back,
yes, an angry Chi-Chi.
but at first Goku does not recognize Chi-Chi at all in this battle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think she's clothed right up, face mask,
No.
everything. No?
No, he just doesn't recognize her at all.
Typical Goku.
That's right. But the King Piccolo thing all goes into season 5, because that's one thing I noticed about all the seasons in all the series was that there was no ending point and a starting point each season.
Mm-hmm.
It all just kind of flowed in there,
Yeah, it's all continuation.
Yeah.
Because obviously Goku beats King Piccolo. I think he wins. I don't think with a headbutt. It's a one punch right through the gut or something like that.
He goes through.
I know he goes through,
goes
but I couldn't
through.
remember if it's a headbutt through or if it's just one
It's
fist.
a fist
Yeah,
headbutt
because
through.
I know he's like whole body's like paralyzed kind
Yeah.
of thing, and he, with the last bit of energy, just goes through him, and King Piccolo then throws up
An egg.
a Namekian egg,
Yep.
which turns out to be his son in Piccolo Jr., who we all know from Dragon Ball as just Piccolo.
Mm-hmm.
But that is basically how that ends, and then it just starts up a couple years later for that next tournament.
The tournament, yeah.
Goku,
So, I mean, that's
Goku, Krillin, they're all now teenagers,
yeah.
so they're not these little doink doinks, as I like to call them.
So that's the main summary, quick cover-up of Dragon Ball itself. Definitely watch it. You haven't seen it, definitely check it out. You can really only watch that stuff if you go buy the DVDs.
Exactly.
You can go online to YouTube and stuff and watch them in parts, but just spend the money. Buy it.
It's nice seeing how, I know we always get into talking about the difference in technology kind of thing for
Yeah.
years and years. If you watch Dragon Ball and then go ahead the next day and watch like Dragon Ball Z, you can see how the development of animation progresses. You kind of get that little comic book cartoon character in Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
But when you evolve to Dragon Ball Z, you get this nice, crisp action figure, I guess I can
course.
call it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's definitely pretty neat seeing the difference. And in Dragon Ball, it's a lot more quirky because they are kids. There's less fighting. And it was, like we mentioned, the late 80s, early 90s. Which can also say, watching Dragon Ball, the things they did in Dragon Ball, that there's no way you can watch that nowadays on TV.
Yeah. And that's why you can't really watch it on TV. anymore.
Exactly. There's unfortunately some full frontal nudity from Goku a couple times. That
That was in Dragon Ball Z too. I mean,
yeah, but it's obviously
it's Japanese
yes,
animation. It's
exactly
what they
you'll,
did.
You'll get that, but no full frontal from the women. Just Goku. But
Yeah, that's
it's funny.
That's in a nutshell, Dragon Ball. Now we need a horn for this part. Some sort of whistle, because now it's time for our top 5.
Top five,
Top
our
five.
favorite part of the show.
Yes, this top 5. The topic is our favorite World Martial Art Tournament fight from the series of Dragon Ball.
Exactly, and that's why we didn't want to get into prior the tournaments because
Yeah.
this top 5 is where we'll discuss the tournaments.
That's right.
Because to me, the Dragon Ball tournaments were so much better than the Dragon Ball Z tournaments. You got a full tournament in Dragon Ball, whereas in Dragon Ball Z, they kind of cut them in half.
They do. They do.
So, but with that being said, let's get to the top 5.
Lay it on us.
Okay, my number 5 match is from the 22nd World Martial Arts.
Okay.
That's where Tien debuts. And it is Yamcha versus Tien. With me, I like my fights kind of even, where I have two guys that are of even height, even weight, going at it. And in this, when they begin their fight, they are equal power, equal speed. And what makes this fight great is prior to the fight, they are constantly fighting with each other behind the scenes, like in the restaurants and stuff. And they're about to fight, and you'll get Master Roshi, who's disguised as Jackie Chun, constantly telling them, if you fight outside of the tournament, you will get disqualified. So they back off. The next day, they do it again, and he has to split them up. So you're getting this nice anticipation of a great match because they want to fight so bad. It made it a great match. Unfortunately, Yamcha, who can't ever get out of the first round, Tien takes the coward way out, I believe, in breaking his leg. So obviously he can't get up now, and he just has to end the fight. My number 4 is a final in the 23rd Martial Arts Tournament. That's the Piccolo Junior Saga. It's Goku versus Piccolo.
Okay.
Great fight. It lasted, I think, 4 episodes. And it really sets up this continued rivalry because Goku defeating King Piccolo, now his offspring wants to do this, get revenge and kill Goku.
Why wouldn't he?
But it sets up this rivalry for Dragon Ball Z, and a rivalry that becomes a friendship. Because Goku at the end of that tournament shows mercy to Piccolo Jr. and gives him a sensu bean. So you start to get maybe Piccolo turning from evil to the good Piccolo that we know. Number 3, I have somebody who is one of your favorites, Goku versus Krillin. This comes from the 22nd tournament. They meet each other in the semifinals, and Krillin doesn't know how strong Goku is, and vice versa, because Goku was off training somewhere else while Krillin was training with Master Roshi.
Yep.
And they are equals. They are rivals at that time.
Yeah.
Just like they were when they first met Roshi training. They were of equal power, of equal strength. So it makes for a great match, and you start seeing Krillin, who learns how to use the Kamehameha wave.
Oh yeah, he does.
So, my number 2 is the finals from the first, from season 1, the 21st Martial Arts, and that's Goku versus Jackie Chun, his master, which is Master Roshi.
No, it's not.
It lasts 5 episodes.
It's a good match.
And in that, you get everything. You get Roshi debuting kind of new moves where he has like the his little shadow figure that Goku tries to attack.
Oh, yeah.
And then Roshi comes from behind and attacks him. But then you get Goku, who we learn in Dragon Ball Z how fast he can learn moves. He learns that move in the tournament. And all of a sudden he uses that on Jackie. You get, unfortunately, the moon comes back. The moon comes out and Goku transforms into the ape. Jackie has to blow up the moon. You get a lot with that match for the 5 episodes that they used to debut that. But my number one is the finals when they come back in the Tien saga. It's Tien versus Goku. It lasted 5 or 6 episodes. And in that, it's constantly going back and forth. Tien can fly, Goku can't, so that's how he kind of gets out of a lot of ring outs. I believe they blow up the ring, the arena, I mean. So it ends up being they're up in the air, and Goku hits the ground first, like a millisecond before Tien. Tien's he didn't want to hit Goku apparently because he starts seeing Tien become a good guy.
Of course.
But it's that episode, there was just constant going back and forth. You didn't know who was going to win.
Right,
so that's what made it such a great episode. But that's my top 5.
Good episode and good fight.
Yep.
It's a good fight. I was actually, when we decided to do this top 5, I was like, our top 5 is going to match. For the most part, they're going to match. Mm-hmm. And after hearing your top 5, I'm shocked. I'm extremely shocked because no, not at all.
Well, I mean, I had some, like I was telling you earlier, I had some where I wanted to put them in, but I knew they wouldn't make it. So
maybe they'll make it on mine.
Maybe.
And then when we do mine, the ultimate top 5, and maybe we'll be on the ultimate top 5.
Exactly.
So let's get started. My first one, number 5, Krillin versus Piccolo.
Yeah, that was a semi-final match in that one.
Yep, it was a great fight.
Well, because
Krillin showed a lot in this match.
Yeah, because Goku was really nervous, telling him, be careful. Because, not Yacha, Tien and Goku know who he is, that he's the spawn of King Piccolo. So they know how tough he's going to be.
Yeah. And Krillin, for the most part, held his own, and he really shocked Piccolo in this fight.
Yeah, you don't want Krillin to die twice in the same season.
But at the end, Krillin knew he was beat, so he bowed out.
Yep. There's a lot of bow outs in that tournament, too.
Yeah.
Because Jackie, Master Roshi, bows out. He just walks out for... actually, that was the tournament before, to Yamcha. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I remember Krillin he's like, I can't do it. I'm done.
Yeah. It was a great fight, though. I really enjoyed it. It's probably one of my favorites. Number 4. This one's fun, too. It's a fun match. Chaozu versus Krillin.
Yes!
This was like a little people fight. That's all it was.
Well, the thing with that is, too, how I said Yamcha and Tien are constantly going back and forth before their fight. Mm-hmm. Krillin and Chaozu were doing the same thing.
Doing the same thing. And you see a lot out of Chaozu in this fight.
He knows how to insult somebody.
He does.
Because he calls Krillin, do you remember what he calls him? Calls him a little midget.
A little midget.
I'm like,
and Chaozu's smaller.
I know. I'm like, how can you call someone that when you're like half that guy's size?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just Chaozu's frame of fighting, I suppose.
But the best part of that match was how Krillin won.
Yeah.
Krillin, with that big head, so must have a big brain in there, outsmarted Chaozu. Gave him a math problem. Chaozu's just sitting there counting on his fingers, and that's when Krillin just knocks him out of the ring.
That's how you do it right there. That's how you win. You use your brain, not your brawn.
There
right?
you go.
All right, number 3. Hopefully you remember this one. It was Goku versus Nam.
Yes, that was the first tournament in season 1.
Yep.
That lasted a couple episodes. It
last couple episodes. Nam is a recurring character. I mean, he came back for the next tournament as well.
Yeah, he wanted just to have fun. Unfortunately, he didn't make it out of the preliminaries.
Nope. But I really enjoyed that match. Nam was a great character. Mm-hmm. I wish they did more with him, too.
Well, yeah, because they did I think...
did a cover backstory for him.
Exactly, because...
Why he's at the tournament in the first place.
Roshi gives him the... not even money. He gives him the Capsule Corp water. So you can fill like a lake size of water in these capsules. So he takes that back. Yep. And then even Goku visits his village.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he does. So it was a great, fantastic match. You see a lot out of Nam. You really do. Mm-hmm. When he jumps up real high.
I know we always have these conversations where who's the most powerful human in Dragon Ball.
Well, we all know who the most strongest human is.
Yeah, but you could say going in, because in Dragon Ball Z, you have your like top 4 kind of thing.
Yeah.
But in Dragon Ball, Nam was very powerful.
Nam could have be in the top 3. Mm-hmm. You know, and they should have done more with him. But you see him about twice.
If Goku wasn't in that tournament, Nam would have won.
Oh yeah, definitely, by far. So number 2 was the same as your number 2, which is really weird actually. Goku versus Jackie Chan.
There you go.
Yeah. Jackie Chan was amazing. It was a great fight. Then my number 1 is the same as your number 5. It was by far. I can't believe I'm saying this about Yamcha.
I know.
But by far, it was probably my favorite fight out of any tournament.
It's because it got. I think it's basically how we do fights today, whether it's boxing or MMA. They hype it up, and then you have this great match, and that's what happened.
It's such a well done fight. Because for a while, I mean, I thought Yamcha had it.
Because you can say Yamcha, even though we consider him one of these weak guys in Dragon Ball Z.
Oh yeah.
He was actually a strong guy back when everyone was a kid.
In the Dragon Ball saga, he was
his Wolf Fang Fist was very powerful. It knocked out when he first fought Goku. I mean, Yamcha beat Goku in their very first fight out in the desert.
Yeah.
With the Wolf Fang Fist.
Yep.
He knocks him unconscious. It did. Like I said, it was why I put it on the top 5. That match went back and forth, and they were equals.
Oh, yeah.
You can consider them how you get, like, the rivalry between Krillin and Goku when they're kids.
Yeah.
Yamcha and Tien are rivals through Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z.
Now they're training partners, but they still like to match up against each other.
Exactly. Yeah.
But, I mean, towards the end of Dragon Ball Z, though, you see a lot of Krillin and Yamcha going at it instead.
Yeah.
Because Tien always takes off to the forest to train as a waterfall.
Yep.
With, who's he with?
Chaozu.
No, the Launch. With Launch.
Oh, okay.
Remember Launch?
Yep. Girl who sneezes and transforms.
Sneezes and just, yeah, exactly right, yep. So there is our top 5.
Yep.
So now let's combine them to the ultimate top 5.
Well, you even said it. We had our number 2 at the same.
So that's no doubt should be number 2.
Exactly. So we got Goku and his master in disguise, Jackie Chan.
Not to be confused with Jackie Chan.
Exactly.
Which I think they took that character.
Yeah, obviously.
Definitely.
So you had Yamcha and Tien at 1. I had him at 5.
He deserved to be high up out west.
Oh, definitely. I would say, being the fact I have him at 5 and you have him at 1, literally dead center would be 3. And that's where, if you took like law of averages kind of thing.
Right.
I don't believe it's a number 1. But I do believe it was a great fight. That's why I'm saying 3. Unless you think it deserves to be 2 and we have to push Goku and Jackie up to 3.
No. Goku and Jackie Chan was a epic fight. Because you see Goku just learn so many techniques in that one fight.
I just see being the fact I'm excited for the Tien Yamcha match with all the hype. I just hate the way it ended with Tien taking the
cheap way out.
Cheap way out,
yeah.
And let me just break your leg. Really, you can't get him out of the ring or knock him unconscious. You have to break.
That's because Yamcha was gonna win every time. You know, he had the upper hand. Yamcha in that match was the stronger one. Yeah. He was the stronger one.
So, I mean, I see it at a number 3.
Let's do it number 3 then. But 5. What do we do 5? There's so many great matches in 5.
Let's see. You had Krillin and Piccolo, and I had them on the list too. So we got to figure out that obviously deserves to go on a top 5.
Well, let's put it as 5 then.
Yeah, because I mean, I had it at 4.
Did you?
Yeah, and my
You
problem.
had Goku and Piccolo number 4.
Oh yeah, I did have Goku.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't have Krillin.
Come on, Piccolo. If you made that fight, that was a good fight too.
Yeah. See, it's hard for me doing the Krillin Piccolo and the Goku Piccolo because I can't really remember them that much. That's why I put it so high up.
So trust me when I say this, Krillin Goat Piccolo, better than
even with him bowing out, huh?
Yeah.
I could see it because, like I told you before we came into the studio today, the Goku Piccolo, it just reminds me of what you just saw with King Piccolo.
Exactly.
He beats him the same way, too.
Yeah.
He doesn't go through Piccolo.
No, but he nails him right in the gut.
Yeah, with one arm. So I'll give Krillin his props.
Krillin deserves props. All right, so now we have 4 and number 1.
Yeah.
So number 4, I think Nam should be on the list, man.
Yeah.
I do.
It was a very, very good fight. That was I think everyone knew Goku was going to get to the finals, obviously.
Well, yeah, I mean,
But-
obviously.
Nam puts up a good fight against Goku, and Goku didn't have much competition in any World Martial Arts tournament he's in until he meets, whether it's Roshi or Tien or Piccolo.
Right, yep.
So, being the fact Nam did so well against him, he deserves to be on there.
But is it 4 or 1, though?
I don't think it's a 1.
You don't think it's a 1?
I mean, like, I had Tien and Goku. That match literally almost was a tie. You see new moves out of Tien where he does his Triforce Beam.
Yep.
And he uses the Dodon Ray. That is one of Chaosu's moves.
Which they've learned from their
master.
Their master,
Yep.
the Crane Hermit.
Yes. And I feel like that match, it starts off with Tien wanting to kill Goku and ends in a friendship. So I think that is, out of all the matches in 3 World Martial Arts tournaments, is the longest.
Man, you talked me into it. That should be number 1.
It literally is, I think.
That should be number 1.
It's, I think, 6 episodes worth.
Yeah, Tien versus Goku, number 1.
And they do fight each other twice, but this is
And
the
then
one where they
Goku
go at it.
and Nam at 4. That is actually a really solid top 5 list right there. Mm-hmm. Those are the greatest fights right there. So if you guys are watching this, you check the top 5, go on YouTube, look at these matches, man. They are just
Not even just those matches.
phenomenal.
Watch all the tournaments.
They are
Because
phenomenal.
so much happens. Do you remember who Nam had to beat before he beat Goku? It was just some random female, and she uses her sex appeal against Nam.
Yeah.
She just strips down, and she's walking towards him, and he's almost falling out of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
So he has to close his eyes and meditate, and that's how he beats her. He hits her, and she starts crying.
Yeah.
And Roshi gets all ticked off.
So why don't you run us through our ultimate top 5?
Let's do it. We've got the littlest underdog, Krillin, versus Piccolo Jr. Taps out because he knows he doesn't have a shot, but he put up a great fight.
Gave it his all.
Number 4, we got Goku versus Nam. Nam, the one human, basically, that could go pound for pound against Goku.
Yep.
Number 3, Tien and Yamcha. One of the greatest out of all the World Martial Arts tournaments fights, the greatest build-up. And it was worth the wait. Number 2, Goku versus his master Roshi, but disguised as Jackie Chun. Great match. Has the transformation of Goku again as a giant ape.
Yep.
Jackie having to blow up the moon. What a match.
So much going on that
But
match.
unfortunately, it doesn't beat out our number 1, which is the first time Tien and Goku face. It's a 6-episode match. Comes down to the very last millisecond when they blow up the ring. Goku hits the ground first, gets eliminated. Tien wins the tournament. But on the other hand, he does want to split the prize money with Goku. Goku declines, but instead eats the restaurant out, so Tien still has to pay for the restaurant
Still
food.
has to pay for the food. That's
Exactly.
right. Yeah, I mean, that is a great list. I enjoyed all those matches. And here's what I love about the Dragon Ball Saga. Last episode, we talked all about Dragon Ball Z and how the characters are, who's most important, who's less. And we didn't really talk too much about Tien or Yamcha at all. And honestly, they're really great characters in Dragon Ball.
Mm-hmm.
They are so important in this entire saga. All of it is just amazing about how Tien developed from being almost a villain to the friend. Mm-hmm. There's always that character development in all these shows.
And what I love is when they come back for different parts in the seasons, they always have a new move, which is great to see. You don't want to see the same person do the same exact move.
They're always training.
Exactly.
Always training.
And that's where I was saying how Goku and Tien meet again, I think, in the quarterfinals or the semifinals of the next tournament. That's where you find Tien, one of my favorite moves, is where he can split himself up into 4 separate entities. So it's like you're going on a 4-on-1 handicap match, basically. But unfortunately, Goku figures out the weakness of that is each person only has a quarter of the strength.
Right.
So it basically is one of those moves where Tien learns you got to do it quick. Because I've seen him, and I think
it's his multi-form.
Yeah,
verse,
I think he does it against the Saiyans in the Saiyan saga. He splits into 4 and does the Triforce beam.
Yeah.
So it's coming from all different angles. That's where it works.
Here is the most ultimate, greatest part about this show is that if you're new to the series, you gotta watch all in order.
Yes.
Because even in the Android saga, the Cell saga, it all ties together with Dragon Ball.
Because of the Red Ribbon Army.
All of it. Not just because of the Red Ribbon Army. Not just because of that. Because even Cell is made up of all these characters.
Yes.
And he got these moves by taking cells from these guys. These guys learned these moves back in Dragon Ball.
Yes.
You know, so it all ties together. I mean, even that little insect that followed Goku around everywhere.
Yes, I forgot about that.
That insect transmitted all of the data, all of his fighting data, to the androids. And that even started back in Dragon Ball Saga. So even the Cell Saga was developing in Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I think there's actually, when they're showing that little bug, they show footage from Dragon Ball.
Yeah, from the
Goku
tournament
as a kid.
Yeah.
But,
So Cell Saga is huge because it developed in Dragon Ball.
Yeah. But being the fact we're still kind of on the tournaments, I just wanted to bring up a couple matches.
Oh, yes.
That
I've got matches too.
were, to me, great matches, but just didn't feel right putting them on a top 5. So let me just go over a couple with you. My favorite, and you'll be surprised hearing this, being the fact I'm not a Krillin fan, but I loved this match. Krillin's very first match in the tournament was against a guy called Bacterian.
I remember him.
Just this giant, smelly guy that used his stink to beat you.
He's this giant ogre / caveman.
Exactly. I mean, he pops a loogie on Krillin to try. That's his most devastating attack. Krillin doesn't know how to beat him until Goku goes ahead and says, "Krillin, you can beat him. Why are you afraid? You have no nose. You can't smell." Which I thought's the funniest thing, because every character has a nose, but Krillin does not ever get a nose in any series. So light bulb hits. Oh, okay. So he can go run up to him, and he beats him. Do you remember how he beats him? He pulls down his pants and farts in his face.
Oh,
I thought it was a hilarious match, and it was just one of those matches where I could go back and watch it over and over and over.
Right.
The other match was then Goku's first match, which was against a guy named Giran, Giant Dragon.
Yes.
The
purple dragon.
Yes, he spit out that bubblegum goo out of his mouth.
Okay, yep.
This is where you basically get a new rule in the World Martial Arts Tournament. Giran gets him trapped in it, he can't break it, throws him out of the ring. And he's flying through the city, he's about to land. Goku's trying to figure out, how am I going to get back to the arena? So he calls on the Flying Nimbus. Because that was the thing with Giran. Goku threw him out, but Giran could fly because he's a dragon. So Goku thinks, well, I got the Nimbus, I can fly back.
You can fly back.
But they then decide Giran's wings are part of him. The Nimbus isn't part of Goku. He could never use it again. That became a new rule.
Yeah.
You can't use outside objects.
Nope.
So there was that. And my other favorite match was in the Tien saga. You learn about this character first in the first World Martial Arts Tournament. It was Yamcha beat him in the last preliminary round. It was a guy named Wolfman.
Oh, yes.
He's a giant wolf.
Yep.
And Tien says, "I'm going to beat you with my wolf fang fist." And the guy's like, "How come you guys always use wolf techniques?" Da 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 da. He beats him. Jackie then blows up the moon, and unfortunately, Wolfman, who's an actual human, can't transform back into a human. He's stuck as a wolf.
This is so great.
So he fights Jackie in the next tournament and blames him that he can't transform back. Jackie quickly beats him, but he calls upon Krillin. And he hypnotizes Wolfman to think Krillin's bald head is the moon.
Yep.
And he transforms back.
So funny.
It's
so funny.
It's matches like those that made Dragon Ball, though, funny.
That's what made the show, yeah.
Exactly. So, But any matches you can think of that weren't on yours that you?
I had a few.
kind of
I had a
enjoyed?
few on here. One of them I really liked was Jackie Chun versus Nam.
Yep.
That was another great hard-hitting match. I enjoyed that one a lot. I also had on here was I had to put this one on here. I know it didn't make the top 5. That's why it's not there. Goku versus Chi-Chi.
One of the quickest matches,
It was a lame match.
but it sets up for a good, not promo, but a good storyline.
It sets up the entire universe for him.
Because obviously, she says why she's there.
Yep.
He promises to marry her when they were kids. And then for like...
And Goku, throughout the entire match, fighting her, does not remember her at all.
Exactly.
Has no idea who she is, does not remember his promise, and all he's just trying to do is dodging kicks and punches. Tell me your name. Tell me your name.
Exactly. I mean, he promised to marry her, and he goes off to who knows where for like the next 10 years, never to be heard from. And she's like, what the heck? We're supposed to get married.
Yeah, and she's like, if you beat me, I'll tell you my name. So what does he do? You know how do you remember this match?
I don't. I thought he like just backhands her. Kind of.
Yeah. Just quick backhand, pretty much.
Like they say, nothing's worse than a woman scorned.
Because his line after that was, I meant to knock you out of the ring, not knock you out.
No, that's why I said Dragon Ball is just, it's hilarious.
The universe is huge. There's so much to it.
I just realized this too, because I remember reading about it. You know what was kind of weird? So when Jackie, Master Roshi, is battling Tien, when Tien's still evil, he's trying to convince him he knows he's not a killer. He knows there's somewhere down in him he's a good guy. So they're going on and stuff, but to prove how well he knows Tien, Jackie just literally walks out of the arena. So obviously he is now lost because it's a ring out.
Yep.
But what's funny about that is, earlier in the series, Master Roshi, before he dresses up as Jackie, tells the restaurant owner, he says, because Goku's eating all this food and he can't pay for it, he goes, don't worry, I'll pay you with my winnings from the tournament. All I'm thinking is, okay, you just promised this guy money and you just walked out.
Walked out. He's done.
So I guarantee it's probably in there somewhere, because I don't think they'd leave it wide open. That all of a sudden he gets the light bulb. Oh crap! I can't pay this guy. But I thought that was funny. So
Let's revisit a tournament. I don't quite remember all of it, but let's do some of it. It was a tournament with when you meet a Master Roshi's sister.
Oh, that's Baba, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fortune teller, Baba.
Yes.
Do you remember that? Remember that small tournament?
No.
This is actually a really cool tournament. It was 4 stages, and the winner gets the Dragon Ball.
Okay.
All right. The first it was a team set. It was like 3-on-3 kind of thing, you know. So Krillin goes fights, Yamcha fights, and Goku has the last fight against a person wearing a bunny mask. You remember the bunny mask?
Yes, the bunny, and that's Gohan, his grandfather.
Gohan, that's right.
Yeah, it's in like the other world.
It turned out that was probably one of the most emotional scenes in the series.
Yes, I think that happens after the 3rd time in the World Martial Arts Tournament.
Yeah.
'Cause they're more of teenagers.
No, they're kids.
They're still kids?
They're kids.
Okay,
yeah.
because I know he meets Gohan.
Right after the second tournament.
Okay, because at the end of the Dragon Ball series, he meets Gohan again because they need to get the flames down at the Ox King's castle again. Because the Ox King is trapped inside with Chi-Chi's dress.
Right.
And they tell him, if you kill these flames here, you're going to let out all these ghosts and demons. So,
But I want to bring that tournament up. It was a cool tournament. Even Goku versus Mummy was a cool fight.
yeah. And, I mean, that's why...
The show is full of emotional scenes, too.
Yes.
You know? It really is. Because even if you jump up to Dragon Ball Z in the Buu saga, when Vegeta makes that giant sacrifice, even that
I did.
was an emotional scene.
I had a little tear because you never see Vegeta.
Any true fan teared up right there.
Yep. Because I love it. His son Trunks wants to stay with him and fight, and he knocks him out, and he literally tells him, "This is for you and your mother.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this for anybody else except for you two." And that is the first time Vegeta shows emotion.
Yeah. Do you know why Vegeta was so great in that saga, by the way? Here's why he's so great. he was brainwashed, and he still did whatever he wanted to do.
Exactly. He even says the only reason I'm doing this is because I know I'm going to get like 10 times my power.
Yeah. Even brainwashing, he'll still do whatever the heck he wants to do.
And what made that scene was, though, give props to the people behind the scenes of these series doing the music.
Yep.
Because they get that like emotional music in the
right amount
background.
of music,
and then
yep.
you have like the flames behind Vegeta, and he almost has a tear come down.
I think he did actually tear up a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he had one tear go down the cheek.
I literally thought that was the end of the Dragon Ball series.
Right.
Because it could have been. You could have made that to the end.
Yeah, they could have, yep.
But-
Absolutely.
But staying on track with Dragon Ball, like I said earlier,
I think we're on track, man.
this is
It's
true.
a general conversation about the entire universe.
Like I said, that Dragon Ball, what they did with the tournaments, for instance, that's why I like the Dragon Ball tournaments more than Dragon Ball Z tournaments, because you get the full tournament and you get that effect of what you want to see in a tournament. I want to see the preliminaries, and I want to see a champion at the end. You don't get that in DBZ
I'm trying to
because
remember DBZ tournaments. And the only one I really remember to a full extent
was the junior tournament. I
was
remember.
the junior tournament. That's right. The first year they had the junior tournament. They had to separate them.
I mean, you do get in that same year the adults then fight because it's 18 who goes to the end
Yeah.
and fights Hercule. But what happens is they have to kind of refigure it because you get all the Z fighters flying off. So it's like you still have like 2 more rounds to go.
Yeah.
So really, 18's the only one left. And
Remember how that lost went?
she just kind of backs down to him if he
Blackmail.
if he pays her like twice the amount of money that
Yeah,
she would have won. Yeah. But that tournament didn't do anything for me, and the junior tournament, unfortunately, didn't do anything until the finals when you have Goten and Trunks.
Which was a very cool fight.
Exactly. They make a deal. We can't go Super Saiyan, and we can't fly, and Gohan breaks both those rules in the beginning. He's like, whoops, I'm sorry. I'm like, yeah, that's Goku's son.
So yeah, a lot of great tournaments. The DBZ, or Dragon Ball, is based on tournaments, and the Dragon Balls itself. Dragon Ball Z, for me, was more based on power and storyline. That's how I see it. But then you have the one in front of you, which I'm not a huge fan of.
Yep.
I'm not a huge fan because the creator of Dragon Ball did not write or have anything to do with that series.
Yeah, he's even gone on record and saying it was an series. It really is. The problem is when it came out, they did it, and now they're doing so much more.
Yeah.
So you literally have to watch Dragon Ball GT at the very end of everything else.
I would watch Dragon Ball GT and pretend that the other two don't exist. You know, because that's the way it should be. I mean, whole new storyline. It had its great ideas in it.
The beginning is amazing, I think.
It has great ideas in it because Pilaf shows off. But then again, I mean, here's what really messed up is that they introduced the Black Star Dragon Balls, which for me was kind of silly. Because I mean, they could have used those things in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. You know.
Well, I mean, for me, why I said the beginning was great is because it literally is a continuation of the end of the Buu saga. You learn
For the most part.
of Oob, who is the human form of Majin Buu, when Goku kind of makes his own wish.
First Black Z fighter.
Yeah, who he says come back as a human, and he says I'm going to train you, and that's what happens. A couple years down the road, you see Goku still in his blue getup, his blue training outfit, and he's training Oob. So
Ooby.
I like that. I didn't care for after when he becomes a kid and they go out to the universe
Right.
trying to find the Black Star balls.
That's kind of lame. I like Trunks as a character. In that show, I didn't like Trunks at all.
No, I didn't either.
I did not like
I
him.
didn't care for Pan either.
No, she was kind of annoying.
But what I liked was when they got back, the baby saga to me was decent because it kind of, you've even gone off record and said you didn't mind it because it talks about the truffle planet, which is a planet that Vegeta,
The
blew
backstory for
up.
that was kind of interesting.
yeah, because the Saiyans blew that planet up, so that's why baby,
No, the Saiyans took over that planet.
over the planet.
and turned it to
yes.
Planet Vegeta.
So he wants to get revenge, and
Yeah.
obviously get revenge on Vegeta.
Yeah.
So that was decent, and I like the whole backstory with the Dragon Balls at the end when they make a wish and they all break, and you get the Dark Dragons. And they kind of give a backstory because nobody ever collected all the Dragon Balls until Bulma made her Dragon Ball Radar, and that's how they kept collecting them, and all this bad energy kept filling up, and you get these dragons that Goku has to beat.
Right.
Which are some of his most strongest opponents ever.
I think that was a great summary for the whole series. Nice job.
It's a very quick series.
It is a quick series. But all this Dragon Ball talk, it really breaks down to one simple thing. The new movies that came out.
You want to know what that
a couple
simple
years
thing
ago,
is?
we had Battle of the Gods. Amazing, loved it. And now they have Resurrection of F coming out, which is going to be great because it already made box office records by becoming the number 10 in most box office sales of anime movies.
And it will not surprise me if we see that movie here in America faster than some of the other movies. Like when Battle of Gods came out, it took it a year to come over here.
Yeah.
It will not surprise me if we see that movie maybe by Christmas time.
Maybe, maybe not. I mean, it is August now in that movie. There's no sign of it slowing down right now. There's no sign of it slowing down.
But what you just said just a few seconds ago was, what's like the biggest sign or something? I can't think of what you just said, but like the biggest thing in Dragon Ball, what is the biggest thing? It's that if you die, don't feel bad. You can come back. You
can come back.
Because obviously Frieza's come back a couple times, and now he's coming back in Resurrection F. How many times has Goku come back from the dead? Or Krillin or Yamcha?
Right.
So
he never died, he died once.
yes, he died once I think the Saiyans killed him.
Yeah, Nappa killed him, yeah.
So,
But with everything that dies, so doesn't this episode.
so does another episode.
But we can always make a wish and come back in a couple of weeks, right?
Exactly. We just got to get our Dragon Ball radar. Let's go find Bulma.
What do you go sign us out here, big guy?
Yeah. Well, there it is. Part 2 of our epic Dragon Ball episode. We hope you enjoyed it. We just want to tell you, don't forget, go to our YouTube page, subscribe, watch all of our previous episodes. Watch this guy with his quirky little videos.
And we got the new web series out.
Yes, we have a new web mini-series. We'll basically be talking about every Raw, what happened, just a little quick Raw recap.
It's a 3-5-minute video. It's simply called A Look Back on Raw.
On Raw. But also, don't forget, we have a Facebook page.
We do.
We post many different things on there, whether it's these episodes where you can catch up on, or a couple trailers of new movies that are coming out next year.
Right.
So like us on that, subscribe to YouTube, and remember, everybody out there, stay nerdy.